Here are the books that I read in May. My name is Oshina. I hope you're doing well. There is quite a different assortment here, so I'm gonna do it by genre. Start with the Christian fiction and then just adult secular fiction and then end with young adult. So I'm definitely gonna link some vlogs down below that I did during this month because you'll see more thoughts in those vlogs. There's Christian fiction book that I read is Last to Fall by Lynn H. Blackburn. This is the third book in the Gossamer Falls trilogy, and so I was really excited to see the wrap up to this world and the family and the characters that I've gotten to know, and I was highly anticipating this book because it follows a couple that I've just been very curious about since book one, and I gave this 4 stars. I definitely enjoyed reading it, but it did not hit that 5-star level for me. I found sometimes the romance was a little bit cringy, a little bit cheesy, and just immature for what the ages of the characters were. That being said, I still loved the group dynamics. I love her writing style. I think she puts in like funny little moments that just make the writing easy to consume, and I was definitely interested in the mystery and what they were trying to solve. But so I definitely recommend this series. I actually think book 1 is probably my favorite book by her, I think, but I almost would say some of her previous series are stronger than this series, because this series, I feel like the mysteries were more prevalent but less exciting, if that makes sense. It was more family drama, was all about the mystery, and less like kind of more legal stuff. I don't know. But if you like this series, if you were excited to read this book, definitely read it. It's worth it. Like, definitely still a strong 4 stars. Like, I enjoyed myself, but it just didn't hit the 5 stars. So then you already know. I read An Echo in the Darkness by Francine Rivers. Cried my eyes out, okay? I was dry by the end of this book. If you want to see me cry like real tears, it is all in that reading vlog, so you can go check it out. There are spoilers for this book at the end of the vlog, so watch at your own risk, but I absolutely love this book. I feel like it's my favorite book of all time, the best Christian fiction book ever written, like seriously. I love these characters, the storyline. It picks up right where book 1 leaves off, and it's so worth it, the journey that you see these characters go on. I love Marcus's character. And I love all the other characters too, like their story arcs. No one does character development like Francine Rivers, and a redemption story, a salvation story, all the things. Absolutely loved it, and I'm very excited that this was part of my Francine Rivers book club. So if you've been meaning to read Francine Rivers, my book club's a great place to get started with her books. We are in the middle of a trilogy now, so this was book 2. We're gonna read book 3 in June, but definitely still hop into the Fable group. You can go back and see all of the previous books that we've read and read at your own pace, come and go as you need to. It's here for a community aspect and to have fun and enjoy reading and experience God through fiction. And I truly sense the presence of God when I'm reading this book. There's just something so special about it, and I can't speak highly enough about it. I will put all of the information for the book club in the description, and I hope that you do want to join it. I will say, reading An Echo in the Darkness put me in a reading slump, so I was kind of like bopping around with genres and types of books after reading that book because I just didn't know what I wanted to read and nothing sounded interesting to me. But right after I finished Echo in the Darkness, I did want to reread another favorite, just kind of for a comfort read. So I picked up Edenbrooke by Julianne Donaldson. This is a comfort read for me. It's a 5-star. I was so captivated and like obsessed with this book when I first read it, and it was such a pleasant reread. It's just easy. It's sweet. It's, yeah, cheesy, but in the most endearing way that I just can't help but love this book. And I definitely want to read more proper romance because I did pick up another one after this book, but this one, there is something special about it. If you don't like naive characters though, you probably won't like this book because the main character is a very naive, but I really related to her. Like, she's never experienced love or romance or flirting, and so she didn't have any kind of basis for what was happening to her, and her mom passed away, so she didn't learn it, and I related to her. I thought she was really sweet, and I loved her romance and really the setting, but there was just so much. This is centered around mistaken identity. So she is actually going to visit a family friend, and she doesn't know what they look like. She's never met them. And so the son and the heir of the family, he's annoyed because he doesn't want to be set up, and he's like kind of running away. But then they run into each other, and she has no idea who he is. And then she ends up at his house and she's like, excuse me? And he's like interested in her. And it's very, very cute. And I just loved it. So highly recommend this if you haven't read it. It's completely clean. There's not really any faith content, but it is fully clean and I love it. Then I read Lakeshire Park by Megan Walker. And this was a book that my sister recommended to me and I just seen it. Like if you like Edenbrooke, you'll probably like Lakeshire Park. So Lakeshire Park is a manor that this girl is visiting. And what I liked about this book is there was more to it than just a romance. You follow two sisters who are basically orphaned. Their mom passes away and she had remarried a man who never really liked the daughters, and only out of obligation is he trying to marry them off, but he's doing like bare minimum and he's pretty terrible. So that was like almost an interesting aspect to the book because it wasn't this like cheery thing at the beginning. It was actually quite sad. And they get sent to visit this manor place to hopefully join the season and find a husband for both of them. And really the older sister takes it upon herself to find a husband for her younger sister. And she runs into this guy who is trying to get his sister married to the same guy the sister's trying to get married to. You know what I mean? So they're fighting over this guy because they both want him to be with their sisters. Get it? And it was very funny. Like, it was funny, it was comical, but it was deep at the same time because there was a lot of family talk. But their romance was so sweet. They definitely had a friendship first, and he was so interesting. And I liked the part of the book where you had to kind of face your siblings' flaws and come to terms with like maybe what they want isn't what is best for everyone, and like whose side do you take. I really liked that. So yeah, again, this is no language, no faith content, but highly recommend this one. It was good. I gave it 5 stars. Okay, I did also read Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen this month, and I basically gave it 5 stars. I have a whole reading vlog where I read this book and it met me in the most perfect way. And that's why I'm giving it 5 stars. I think like objectively it's 4 stars for me, but the experience and how it met me and my needs, it's 5 stars. And I really connected to the sister story of it and how comforting it was to read. It was such a slow-paced book, but I really got attached to the characters somehow. And again, I think it's Jane Austen's writing. She just writes characters in such a relatable way that I really connect with them. And I just loved it. I really enjoyed reading it, and the audiobook was great. I tandem read it with the book. It really meant a lot to me to read this book. It was my 3rd Jane Austen book that I've read, so I definitely want to read more books by her, but this is one that I've been meaning to read for years and years, basically ever since I watched the movie. So I finally did, and I'm really glad that I did. So I'll link that video down below if you want to see more in-person thoughts. Okay, to the mystery/thriller books that I read. I started with Dear Debbie by Freida McFadden, and I actually really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4.25 stars. I'm not usually that specific, but it was stronger than a 4, but not a 5. So it is what it is. But I think what I liked about this book is it was different. It was definitely more domestic thriller, which all of her books are, but like this one, you follow Debbie, who is an advice columnist. Right? Debbie has a family, she has daughters and a husband, and she writes advice to other women with husbands of how to like fix their marriages. And it's very unhinged advice, and it's funny. And she has a few enemies in her town that don't really like her. So she deals with that. And then her like daughter gets an enemy too, and she deals with that. And her husband might be doing stuff and she deals with that. Like, she gets stuff done. And I will admit that I like appreciate it. Like, even though she was definitely cuckoo, it was so entertaining to read. And there was very minimal language in this, and there was no spice. They did talk about it because like that was a little bit of an aspect of the book, but like nothing graphic at all. I'm sure there was a little bit of language, but I don't remember anything super vulgar. And I just enjoyed my time. Like, it's definitely one of my more favorite books by her. So that was fun. So yeah, I just think that if you want to try Freida McFadden, I almost would say you could start here. Like, if you don't want to read The Housemaid, then try this book. Try Dear Debbie, because it was actually fun. And then I did also read The Intruder, which I didn't like that much. Like, there was nothing wrong with it, but it just stayed at a 3-star level for me. I liked the characters, but the actual like storyline and like ending was a pretty much letdown. Like, nothing that exciting, and the book is packaged to be scary, but it's like not at all. So I didn't really like that. Like, I think it was looking for something a little bit more thrilling, and this is not thrilling at all. It's a family story once again. You follow this girl who's renting a really rundown shack, and there's a storm coming, and she thinks that there's an intruder trying to get into her house and like stalking her. And you learn all about that. And it's not what you think, and it's not what I thought, and I was like, this is kind of lame. That's what I thought. So there you go. Okay, and then I read Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. And this book, I have a little short mini reading vlog on in my shorts. So if you go to the shorts tab on my page, you'll see this. I think it's one of the more recent ones. It's called Mini Reading Vlog. Anyways, I first of all loved the writing style so much because it's humor. It's witty writing because the author makes the main character talk to us as the readers, and I really enjoy that when books do it. But unfortunately, it got 3 stars for me because as the book went, I was just like, this is the most drawn out mystery I've ever read. Like, get on with it. I don't need all this backstory for all of these characters. Like, he has a big family and there's a murder and they're trying to figure out who did it, and you get all the backstory for all the family members, and most of them are not good people. And he does, like, the way he talks, it comes across as pretentious, but it's funny at the beginning, but it started to get a little annoying near the end. And there was a few exciting things that popped up that I was like, oh, that was good. And I liked it enough that I would definitely continue this series, so I do plan to, but this is still a 3-star level book for me. So there you go. There is a little bit of language. There's no spice, and like language as in they do say Jesus once, I'm pretty sure. They might even say it twice, which is the worst. And then I think there's probably at least one F word. Check my Goodreads review because I'm more detailed there. But yeah, it's definitely humorous writing. So if you like kind of a quirky writing style, check this out. To the young adult, you guys. So first of all, Secrets in Ice. Forget the author, really sorry about that. I don't own the book. It was a NetGalley read, actually. I think it was on the Read Now list of NetGalley, so I just looked at all the young adult books that were like kind of new-ish releases, and I saw this one. It's a fairy tale retelling, and it's I think it's the Ice Princess. It's an Ice Princess retelling, which is like similar to Frozen, I guess. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And this is very, very, very reminiscent of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, except it's clean. So if you or your teen liked A Good Girl's Guide to Murder / wish you could read it, except it's way too graphic, I get it. This is a great alternative, and I do highly recommend it. I think, did I give it? Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. It was a tad slow at times, but I mean, so was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, because you're like building the case with the characters. Basically, you follow this girl, her whole family is killed, and I think, is it like 7 years later, 6 or 7 years later, she starts to get these text messages that she thinks are coming from her sister, but she's like, is my sister still alive? And she wants to hire this podcaster to help her solve the case, like this true crime podcast that like looks at cold cases. She wants to hire him to figure out this case with her. And there's a lot of twists and turns. It was really fun. Some of it was predictable, but I was just like I just enjoyed the writing. I liked the characters. Yeah, there's a little bit of romance, but there's I think they swear like once, but it was nothing super intense. I think they just say the B word once maybe, but nothing like past that. And yeah, no spice. And I did like that there is a Canadian character in this book, and they talk about Canada and Vancouver a little bit, which is close to where I live. So that was a fun aspect for me. And yeah, the girl is like super rich, and so she's like the heiress to this big whatever empire, and she's like, I want to figure out what actually happened, because they never figured out like what happened to them. They just said like, oh, they got in a car accident and they all died, but we never found the bodies. So they're like, what's that about? So yeah, it was really exciting. So highly recommend this one. And yeah, I got it from NetGalley. I think it is on, I mean, I saw it on Amazon. I don't know if it's on Kindle Unlimited, but this author's written a couple others like this, like fairy tale retellings that are modern. So I definitely want to check more out because I liked her writing style. Okay, and then I did recently-ish put up a Christian fantasy video where I was trying to read some young adult Christian fantasy books. And I started with Twin Daggers by Marcykate Connolly. This book was sent to me by HarperCollins Christian Publishing branch. So I was like, oh, maybe there's Christian faith in this book, but there wasn't any Christian faith. The Christian aspect of it is that there's no language and there's no spice. So that's nice, right? But to me, like, Christian fantasy has either Christian allegory or like actual Christian faith in it. So if you're looking for that, this doesn't have it. And my only like content considerations would be that there's two brief torture, body maiming scenes that I didn't enjoy reading, but it wasn't overly graphic and they ended pretty quick. So just so you know, they're there. And there's kind of a love triangle-ish, like they're trying to make it a love triangle, but it's really not because the girl clearly likes one of the guys better. And there is magic in this story. So you're in a world where there's magic users and non-magic users. The non-magic users hate the magic users, and they actually like want to kill them all off, and they did. There was like a previous war where they killed off all the magic users, but now there's underground magic users that are trying to like restore themselves. And you follow these twins that have special abilities. Most magic users can just manipulate like organic living stuff, but these twins can also manipulate metal. So they're really special, and they're given these missions to, try to help their people. And they encounter things. I'll say that. The chapters felt like they were scenes pieced together. It wasn't necessarily one flowing story. It's like something exciting would happen in a chapter and then it would get resolved by the end of the chapter and then you'd start the next thing. So I didn't love that, but I do think teens would like this book. I thought it was relatable for younger people. I think there's like a lot of exciting things that teens would like. So I would recommend this, and maybe you can check it out. I think it's a duology because I have the second book too. So I do plan to continue. Okay, in that same video, I did read Dust by Kara Swanson. This is a Peter Pan retelling. And I was really excited about this because in theory, I like Peter Pan. Like, I loved the Disney movie, and I have actually read the original by J.M. Barrie. I found the story, I liked the premise, I liked the characters-ish, but it was... I more so found the choices of these characters frustrating because I thought they were not smart choices. And they're teens, so they don't need to be smart. But there's times when I understand why a character's doing what they're doing, and for this I was like, use your brain a little bit. I don't know. But you follow this girl who has like dust come out of her body, her hands, and she doesn't know why. She's grown up with it and people are afraid of it, and she wants to suppress that. She also is looking for her brother because her brother went missing, knows that he's in London, and that's about it. But she's in LA, I think. Yeah, California. So she flies to London and she's looking for her brother. And she encounters a character that we know as Peter Pan, but she doesn't know he's Peter Pan. And you see that progression. And all of the like cameos, I guess, were really fun to see all the different characters from the Peter Pan story. Didn't really find the actual like plot interesting, exciting, and even the way it ended, I'm like, I don't want to read the second one. Like, I don't care. But I think teens could like this book. There's no language, no content considerations. They kiss once, and teens could like this because it's kind of fun. And lastly, you will see this book appear in a different video, but I did read it in May, so I'll talk about it. The Giver by Lois Lowry. I finally read this book. If you missed it, I did make a TBR jar video where I put a bunch of books in a TBR jar, and I'm gonna be picking them out and reading them in a vlog. And The Giver is one of those books. So that was fun because I'd never read The Giver. I've seen the movie years ago when it came out. So I knew the premise and I knew how the movie ended, but I was really hoping the book would end differently than the movie. This is one of the first dystopian books because it follows this society. All choice and all diversity has been stopped and completely wiped out to the point where the world is like in hues of gray. and they don't see color, and they don't get to have any preferences. They have innate skills that they're born with, but the government assigns you where you're going, and you're okay with it because that's just how it is. And there's no love in this society. Like you have your family unit and you look out for each other, but not because you love each other, because it's good for the society. We follow Jonas, who is turning 17, I guess, and he is getting ready to be placed in whatever his new job will be when he graduates high school. And he becomes the next, I think they called it the receiver, or the receiver. Basically, he gets to have all the memories of like history and the past. So he has to go to the current receiver to like be trained. So that current receiver is now called the giver because he's giving Jonas the memories. It's a really short book. And I love that setup because I've always loved dystopian. I just think it's so interesting what authors come up with, like how you can think that you have a utopia society, but then deep down it's like it's only because you're suppressing everyone's desires and needs and wants. So I enjoyed that, but I wanted more. I saw comments of people saying like it's not really about the dystopian society, it's more so like the underlying message behind it. And fair enough, because this is studied in school often, and I never had to study it, but I could see how, yeah, you could like really look for the different themes. But I was like looking for an exciting story, and it was getting so exciting. Like at the end, it was like, woo, and then it just stops and you get no resolution. And I was like, what? Because I was like in it, I was invested. And then I don't get to know what happens. I mean, I guess, I don't know. And for the rest of the series, like I did start, what was it? Gathering something, Blue Sun? I don't know. Some of the other books, The Messenger, I think those are all different names of the books. And I think I'm good. I'm going to stick with The Giver and not continue, but I'm really glad I read this book, and it's appropriate for teens for sure. There's no language, no spice, and there's no content in it to like be worried about, I think. So yeah, it's fun, and maybe the rest of the books give you more information, but so those are all of the books that I read in May. Thank you for being here, you guys. And yes, I hit a reading slump in May, but I still read 12 books. So that's pretty crazy. And really quick, I did DNF Mad Mabel by Sally Hepworth because it was so boring. I was like, this is impossibly boring. I can't push through. I was like 80 pages in and I was like, I cannot listen to another minute of this. I can't. So, and you guys, I'm being more and more ruthless. I am going to be so ruthless for the rest of the year. If a book is boring, I'm not going to work hard to like it. Like, truly, Sense and Sensibility, I should have DNF'd it like page 1, but I didn't because I was actually interested. Like, but my track record should be like, no, you'll think that book is boring and you won't read it. Guess again. Okay, so you never know, and I never know what books will be boring or not for me, but I'm just not a push througher. If a book is boring, I just will not push through. Unless I have the audiobook and I don't care, but I'm trying not to do that, okay? Because like I said previously, I read a lot of 3-star Christian fiction and I'm sick of it. So no more, okay? No more 3-star anything. I mean, unless it is what it is. But there you go. So I'm excited for my future videos and my future reading. I have a lot of books out from the library that I think you guys will have fun watching me read, and I'm gonna have fun reading them. So thanks for being here, you guys. Again, I'll link all the books down below and videos and anything else. Check the description, and I appreciate you guys being here. Always let me know if you have video ideas, if you have requests, questions, anything. I'd be happy to chat with you in the comments or just make a whole video about whatever we're talking about. And yeah, I look forward to June. Have a happy rest of your week, you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.